The views expressed, opinions given, and any communication made between the hosts and guests of What Are You Afraid of Horror and Paranormal Show do not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of Para X Radio, EMC Network, or all services that play this show. The hosts and services are not responsible for the actions of their guests, and the original rights of all intellectual property is retained by the creator, and all work is used with either permission or Creative Commons license. The show is for entertainment purposes only. I'm horror author T. Fox Dunham.
And I'm horror author and filmmaker Phil Thomas.
And tonight we're asking you...
What are you afraid of? Philadelphia's horror home with hosts T. Fox Dunham and Phil Thomas.
Phil, you're alive!
Yes,
My word!
I am.
So you had to, plow your way out here?
Luckily, this wasn't yesterday, otherwise I wouldn't be here right now because we had that another second nor'easter.
Yeah, another nor'easter. It was like Nor'easter 2.
Nor'easter 2.
The revenge of the Philadelphia nor'easter.
That's right, yeah. It was the sequel. The sequel, to me, wasn't as bad as the first one, though, because we lost power during the first one, and you did too.
Right, we did. Oh my god, that was awful.
A lot of people did.
So we actually, out here in Philly, we've had 2 nor'easters. We had one Friday night, and it was a surprise one. Everyone said it was going to be rain. It was too warm for snow. And boy, that snow came down.
I don't know if you noticed, but the news teams around here, they made a much, much bigger deal out of the second nor'easter. I barely heard anything about the first one.
They weren't ready.
That's why I dismissed it. Because I was like, it's going to be nothing. Because no one talked about it.
Yeah, a little snow.
And the winds were like 60-some miles per hour. Almost everyone lost power. It was just insane. Yeah. The second one they really built up, and we did get a lot of snow.
And it was 13.5 registered inches in Montgomery County, where we are, right outside of Philadelphia.
Well, I shoveled like 3 times yesterday.
Yeah.
Every hour and a half, I went out and shoveled. I reshoveled again because I just kept up with it. Yeah. Because
it was pretty rough.
A lot of people in the neighborhood, they were waiting till it was done, and I can see that. I understand it, but. Then again, you're shoveling over a foot of snow. Right. And it's heavy. It was heavy. It was heavy, wet snow. Right. You could hear the tree branches cracking. We were waiting for a power outage. Yeah. I was ready for it. Allison stayed home, obviously, and I got lots of good food to cook, made a nice dinner, nice breakfast. That's great. And I ordered 2 more seasons of Boston Legal, and we hung out while she studied and watched them. But you never lost power, right? Never lost power this time. I didn't either, but you know what? I heard
lucky.
I heard some people have, though.
A lot of Bucks County lost power.
But was it Bucks County?
Yeah, Bucks County lost. Lower Bucks really got hit hard. Oof. And this is the first time that my in-laws have ever lost power here.
First time?
Yeah, first time.
Wow. Not even during Sandy?
Not even during Sandy.
Wow.
Yeah, they kept it. So.
Dude. Yeah, I lost power for about 4 or 5 days with Sandy.
Oh, my word.
It was almost a week. Ambler was like in the dark, Well,
but I'm T. Fox Dunham.
And I'm Phil Thomas.
This is episode 78. We're bringing you some stories tonight. We've had a lot of ghost hunters on. Don Allison was on. She was wonderful. Kathy Gash, she's coming back for the Irish episode we're doing with some Irish ghost stories next episode. But this is episode 78. We're going to bring you some cool stories tonight and kind of hang out with you and keep you warm. Yeah. Are you getting in the St. Patrick's Day mood yet? Are you not yet? Not yet. Not yet. Well, because it's only a week away. So. Yeah, it's only a week away, right? A little more than. I imagine you'll be doing some drinking. Of course. I'm going to go, I think, to Phil's Tavern. Phil's Tavern? My tavern. Yeah. Your buddy's tavern. Yeah, your tavern. Yeah. Have you ever been there? No, I've not. No, I've never been there. Yeah. They have green Irish beer there on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. They have a special St. Patrick's Day menu also. I go there usually every
every year.
Just to warn our audience, I am cooking right now.
That's right.
Making pumpkin bread and a nice chicken stew, and
I can smell it, and it smells amazing.
Yeah, Bill always brings his trough with him.
His trough with him?
His trough with him. You bring this, you bring a big bucket up, and I send you home with food. Otherwise, we'd have all this soup in the house, and I wouldn't know what to do with it. But anyway, I'm going to run off and get the pumpkin bread, and while that's happening, you guys can check out Gladstone Villa. This was sent in by a wonderful gentleman by the name of Andrew Dexter. It's a marvelous ghost story, a haunted house story that happened like in the 60s and 70s, and it happened in South Wales.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and this is read by our wonderful British folk singer, David Walton. On What Do You Afraid of? Horror and Paranormal Show on Parax Radio, Friday nights, all major podcast services that we can think of. And here it is, Gladstone Villa.
The Ghost of Gladstone Villa, submitted by Andrew Dexter, read by David Walton. My family and I lived at a large property called Gladstone Villa in the former mining town of Bargoed in the Caerphilly County Borough of the South Wales Valleys from 1969 to 1978. We experienced phenomena that simply defied any rational explanation. We had minor poltergeist activity, lights going off and on, electrical cables being pulled by unseen forces from upstairs. There was also the occasional sighting, but this was very rare indeed. So rare, in fact, that in all the years I was there, I didn't actually see it, only heard it. But my mother saw it on at least 2 occasions. My mother said it started soon after I was born in August 1969. She said it all started off rather quietly with a tapping here and there, but gradually the activity increased as time progressed. I was only a baby at the time it started, so I don't remember all the details. But my mother said that one day the family heard what sounded like somebody jumping down from the attic and onto the landing. Naturally, thinking that they were having a break-in, they went to see what was going on. When they got to the top of the stairs, they saw nothing, but the hatch to the attic was open. Whatever it was eventually occupied itself in the main bedroom, which incidentally was my maternal grandparents' room. It soon made its presence felt by slowly walking around the room, but that was just about it at that time. As I got older, I saw it all for myself. I witnessed the lights going off and on, the electrical cables being pulled, and my grandfather would on times get angry as he thought it might cause some damage. A family friend, Mrs. Ivy France, she was more of a friend to my grandmother. She would come to see us most evenings. She didn't believe my grandmother at first when she told her that Gladstone Villa was haunted. I can still recall Mrs. France going into the main bedroom, looking around, checking things out, and saying it was a vibration from the traffic outside causing it. But her opinion was soon to change when she experienced it for herself. It was then she suggested getting in a local medium by the name of John Matthews. When John arrived, he asked the family questions. Then he began to challenge the spirit by knocking on the ceiling. It immediately knocked back at him. At one point, John went into a trance to try and make contact. He failed to get a name, but he did later confirm the blatantly obvious, that there was indeed a presence there, and it was an earthbound spirit. A priest came, Graham Jones. He blessed the property, and after a few prayers he duly left. It was quiet for a few months after that, but it did return, and this time it showed itself. One night, my mother told us she saw the full, solid figure of a monk standing behind the sofa near the door. She described it in detail with typical brown habit, complete with hood over the head, so she didn't see his face. There were other sightings as well, witnessed by my mother and grandfather. We left Gladstone Villa in the summer of 1978, when two local businessmen bought the property, and Gladstone Villa was eventually converted into a hotel, and its name changed to Reds Park Hotel. I did some research into the history of Gladstone Villa and the area of Cardiff Road where it was located, and I found out some very interesting things indeed from Bargoed Library and local newspaper archives. I learned that Gladstone Villa dated back to the 1900s, and directly opposite is a pub called the Raffer, one of the oldest buildings in Bargoed, dating back to the 16th century, with tunnels that lead up to two local villages, that has a Roman fort and a manor house called Llanceirll Fawr, which is famously known to be haunted and was investigated by the Most Haunted team. This explains the monk my mother saw. What I have said here is true. I wouldn't share this if I couldn't back it up, and I have challenged famous skeptics to stay there. The one has not got back to me, and others have made excuses not to go, and I have assured them that they will indeed most certainly question their belief system. Of that I have no doubt at all whatsoever in my mind. I'm that deadly serious about it, and I'm quite sincere. Check it out. There is more information out there.
Are you haunted by shadow people in the middle of the night?
Do you secretly love all things creepy and spooky, enjoying ghost stories and horror fiction from the best storytellers?
Do you have a true ghost experience you want to share, but no one will believe you?
If yes, listen to the professionals on What Are You Afraid Of? Horror Paranormal Show Friday nights at 9 p.m. on Para X Radio and at www.whatayouafraidofpodcast.com.
What Are You Afraid Of on Para X?
Our creepy and demented hosts are on call to provide you with all your spooky needs with true ghost stories, interviews, indie music, and new horror fiction.
We are ready to scare you.
Para X.
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.
Mercy, a new horror medical thriller from author T. Fox Dunham, published by Bloodbound Books. Based on the author's horrific battle with a rare form of lymphoma that involved intense chemotherapy and radiation, Fox turns the horror of his experience into terror on the page.
William Saint is dying of cancer. On most days, death seems like a humane alternative to the treatment. Stricken with fever, William is rushed to Mercy, notorious as a place to send the sickest of the poor and uninsured to be forgotten, and finds the hospital in even worse condition than his previous visit.
Willie's memories faded. He grabbed his sack head, the sack head of the scarecrow, picking at the exposed chicken wire to hold them in. However, the memories fell out of the holes in his face. They wormed and crawled from the leather flesh and the old clothing of the scarecrow, then squirmed and wiggled down his body.
The grounds are unkempt, the foundation is cracking, and like the wild mushrooms sprouting from the fissures of decay around it, something is growing inside the hospital. Something dark.
Fangoria gives Mercy 3.5 out of 4 skulls. Dunham has channeled his many brushes with the other side into the exquisitely rendered, lyrical, supernatural hospital thriller Mercy.
It's feeding on the sickness and sustaining itself on the staff, changing them, and now it wants Willie.
Come now, Mr. Saint. Just a little more of that sweet milk. So salty and so good. You won't miss it. And we ever do so like our delicacies here at Mercy Hospital.
Part medical horror, part supernatural suspense, Mercy is a hard-hitting fever dream of a novel. I enjoyed the hell out of it. Tim Wagner, author of The Way of All Flesh and Eat the Night. Available from Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and bookstores everywhere in both print and digital versions.
Life is an addiction.
Let go. Let it all burn.
Very nice ghost story.
Oh, man. That was creepy.
Gladstoneville. I love a good classic haunted house story. He really included several details. It was well written. Thank you, Andrew Dexter.
Yeah, I mean, it's very appropriate, too.
Yeah.
This is Tales for a Winter Fire.
This is Tales for a Winter Fire.
Episode 78, Tales for a Winter Fire. So that's appropriate.
That's because I was thinking we just had the storm.
Yeah.
And I was putting it on Twitter. You finally got time to listen to our show. Why don't you just sit down, get some beer, and listen to some ghost stories.
That's right.
If you're stuck at home and you're lucky enough to have power.
Yeah, and and if you're not lucky enough to have power, sit in front of a roaring fireplace if you have one.
If you can,
with a hot toddy.
All right, so Lloyd Kaufman has had some adventures, and
you were saying,
Lloyd Kaufman. Remember, he was on the Halloween episodes, the October episodes. Very, very outspoken gentleman, Lloyd Kaufman. Wonderful guy. Doesn't give a crap about what anyone thinks.
Right.
Did Toxic Avenger, which was his big. He's mentored people like James Gunn.
Yeah.
And he was in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Right.
He was a small role in that. He was in the movie of yours.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Which movie was that again?
Beneath the Ashes.
Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. We've got that up on the website at www.whatareyoufraidofpodcast.com. And he came down to Philly. I don't know why he was here, a film festival or something, right? Mm-hmm. And I saw this on Twitter. And he was walking on South Street, between 19th Street, down that end. And apparently a guy in a blue hoodie and a lad in a gray hoodie mugged him.
What? Really?
He got mugged.
He got mugged by
these two guys.
Got mugged?
Lloyd Kaufman got mugged on South Street. On South Street, number one.
I know. That doesn't happen very well.
No, it can, but...
It can.
Well, I know what area he's talking about.
Right.
And Alice and I walked down that way, heading towards a nice restaurant down there where we had brunch one Sunday.
Okay.
But I know the area. It's kind of away from the stores. It's an isolated area. But it's not an area you think of... For people who don't know South Street, South Street's like one of our area of shops.
Yeah.
And people go for restaurants and
bars. It's like a business district.
Yeah, it's a business district.
It's an art district, I should say. Because there's
a
lot of culture.
Very much so.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But was this at night that he got mugged or broad daylight?
I'm pretty sure broad daylight.
Oh, God.
But listen to the story. All they got was his red iPhone 7 with a cracked screen.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. That's it. They didn't take his wallet.
Really?
They didn't take any of his valuables. They didn't take his shoes. They didn't take his kidney. All they did was grab his phone with a cracked screen.
Really?
And I know how Lloyd Kaufman is.
Yeah.
What did he say to piss these guys off?
I don't. Yeah.
Getting it now? It's like, what did he do?
Did he do? Yeah, he might. Did he say something to anger them or?
Like what Allison always says, it's not. It's still he's still the victim of it. But
right.
What the hell did Lloyd do?
I don't know. Did they know who he was?
No, I don't think
so. Did they recognize him?
I really doubt it. Because it would, well, I'm sure they have his phone now, so obviously they know who he is.
They know who he is now, yeah.
Yeah. But all they got was a red iPhone 7. Okay, the iPhone 7s are expensive.
Yeah,
that's true. I can see why they'd grab that, and maybe it was in his hand, but it had a cracked screen. But, it's like I said, it's a weird area to get mugged.
It is, yeah.
It's not Fishtown.
No, it's not.
It's not. Like, Alice and I will walk down South Street and not be worried at all.
Mm-hmm, right. Jeez.
What did Lloyd do?
What did you do, Lloyd?
but okay, if you're in a blue hoodie and you're in a gray hoodie and you stole Lloyd Kaufman's phone, bring it back.
Yeah, mail it back to him.
Mail it back to Lloyd.
Yeah,
he's a nice guy.
Yeah,
he's fighting for your freedom of speech. Mm-hmm. He's out there trying to stop internet neutrality from being wrecked.
Yeah,
which will be the end of the world.
Oh God, I know. I can't even imagine.
Basically.
It's a huge issue right now.
Yeah, it is, and fortunately enough, they think it's going to die in Congress. It hasn't even made it.
I hope so.
To the lawmakers yet, but so Lloyd got mugged.
Oh,
that's Lloyd Kaufman news.
Poor Lloyd. Jeez. Yeah. I hope he's not too traumatized.
Oh no,
from that
he's
experience.
Just mad.
He's just mad.
Just really mad, and took to social Twitter. Can you imagine? I mean, he's a little guy. His voice gets high pitched. He just got mad. Got that New York accent.
Right.
What did he say? He said, "I worked on Rocky."
Right.
Philadelphia. There would be no Philadelphia without Uncle Lloyd.
Without Uncle Lloyd, that's right. Yeah,
Uncle Lloyd.
And Philadelphia robbed Uncle Lloyd.
In Philadelphia, they took his phone.
Philadelphia robbed Uncle Lloyd and took his phone. Yes,
after the Eagles fans acted, and now this is like, come on, guys.
I knew that was coming, though.
Yeah, right.
When the Eagles won, I mean, that was... I was expecting it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's an embarrassment,
incidents.
But...
It was a few isolated incidents, though, that got blown up by social media.
Yeah. And you know, any time the city of Philadelphia does something embarrassing, the rest of the United States likes to call them out.
Yeah,
they
right.
like to...
Especially New England.
Up. Yeah, them too, yeah.
There go our New England ratings.
Right. There goes our New England ratings, yeah.
Okay. Bye, guys. Bye, Maine, Massachusetts, New York, and too bad you didn't win the Super Bowl.
I know. Although I do love Boston. I was up there many times.
Well, we want to go.
Well, yeah.
We want to go. We're talking about that.
Have you ever going to go? You've been there, right?
Oh, no.
No, you've never been to Boston?
No, my grandmother owned a cabin in Maine, and we would drive through Boston up 95, but we've never been to Boston, and it's now the home of our favorite old TV show we've been binging, Boston Legal.
Right.
With William Shatner.
Right.
Well, you know, because I went down... have you seen Boston Legal?
I've never seen it.
Well, William Shatner's a great actor. It's his best role.
Right.
And there's a lot of Star Trek alumni in it. Mm-hmm. So he's got Alzheimer's, right? He's this great lawyer who's got Alzheimer's. He's trying to hide it. So whenever he has an Alzheimer's thing, he claims it's mad cow.
Okay, mad cow, yeah.
So I've been telling people... So, you know, they've been diagnosing further issues from all the radiation I've had. I talk about what are you afraid of? I had daily radiation for 6 months about when I was 18, and it's left severe neurological damage, which is spreading like a plague. And part of the issue is aphasia and memory loss and all that. And, you know, people just thought I was flaky, which I am. But, you know, it's a cover.
It's a cover.
But now every time it happens, I go, it's the mad cow.
Okay, yeah. William Shatner, right?
William Shatner, right.
Wonderful, right?
Wonderful show. Very, very eccentric character. I got the DVDs. I'll loan them to you when I'm done.
Sure,
I love it.
I love it. And you definitely should get up to Boston because...
Yeah.
You know, I was
We're shipping up to Boston.
Yeah. I mean, it's a really nice town. Mm-hmm. It really is. And Salem, you know, Salem's great. And interesting story.
Salem, yeah.
My cousin, when we were up there a few years ago, he was walking around. Mm-hmm. He did it on purpose. New England territory with an Eagles shirt on.
Oh, great. Yeah.
And there was a couple comments.
That's like wearing a Red Sox hat here.
Right. There was a few comments.
I imagine
not so. To be, you know, they didn't really care that much.
Until they were drunk.
We're not really New England's rival. You know?
We are now.
Well, yeah. I mean, we beat them in the Super Bowl, but I still don't think we're, you know, now if somebody, you know, if we were in Dallas and he had walked around with an Eagles shirt on, there'd be some major problems.
They shoot him. Yeah. I think that's part of the stand your ground law.
Right.
If someone's wearing the Eagles cap when you go down to Dallas, you're allowed to shoot them.
Yeah, really?
Stand your law.
Okay.
Yeah, right. That's the rules down there. I mean, it's a wild place.
I know it is, yeah.
But so let me tell you about the next interview coming up. This happened like a year ago. In 2016 in winter, I got invited down to an event called Metal in Philly, put on by a friend, Shannon. Mm-hmm. They did a bunch of metal concerts down there and readings, and I did a reading down there. It's at this, like, you know, Fishtown. It's a scary place. In fact, when I went down, I was going down at night, I was going down alone, and I took my phone, I took all the valuables out of my wallet I didn't need, I just had some cash on me, I didn't keep anything I didn't have to on me. I took the microphone down and went down because I figured if I got mugged, you know, I got off the MFL and went down this place, and it was this restored house that used to be a warehouse, and on the outside it looked like a scary place, like a shooting gallery, a drug den. But when you opened up the door, it was this art gallery.
Really?
It was gorgeous. I'll put pictures up on the website, and it had this huge back lot where they had the band set up.
Wow.
And all this beautiful art on the walls and a bar. And I mean, Phil, it was beautiful. But I did some interviews down there, and I've been holding them because I've been trying to get Shannon on the show to tell some of her ghost stories and introduce the bands and get more music from her, but I just not been able to get her here yet. So I decided, you know, this is a local Philadelphia metal band called Surgeon. I interviewed Sean and Lydia. This was their home and their art gallery. And it's a really nice little interview about metal band, indie music, and Philadelphia.
Nice.
And I'll play that for you now on What Are You Afraid of? Horror and Paranormal Show. www.whatafraidofpodcast.com, where you can see reports of the mugging of Lloyd Kaufman. Return the phone.
Yes.
Save Uncle Lloyd.
Yes, give it back to him.
Without him, there'd be no Philly.
That's right.
Quality warning. This podcast often records in the field to gather the best in paranormal materia from witnesses. Often, we cannot control the quality of sound in this environment, such as you may hear distortions or perhaps the occasional moaning. But then again, we're not about control, are we?
Embrace the chaos.
I just got to Philly, schlepping on 2 trains and walking through Fitchtown, which is quite an adventure to be here tonight at Metal, a dark arts premiere event from Shannon Void. We're speaking tonight with 2 members of one of the bands, Surgent, who will be playing this evening, and it's incredible to talk to them. So, how are you guys?
Great.
Excellent. Good. Very excited for the show tonight.
And you are?
I'm Sean.
Sean. And you are?
Lydia.
And you're in the band Surgent. And you're the lyricist.
Yes, sir.
And what do you play in the band?
Guitar.
And you play guitar. That's fantastic. So what kind of music does Surgent play?
Well, I guess it'd be categorized as progressive black metal at this point, you know.
Progressive black metal. You see, I'm not a very big metal fan. I mean, I enjoy it, so I couldn't really tell you the difference between progressive and non-progressive black metal. Earlier you were saying it depends on your influences. Who are your influences?
I guess it's, a lot of things. You know, we like classic metal, more progressive stuff, kind of a mishmash of everything. Lydia does a lot of the writing. She's taken a lot of influence from, what do you say, classical music or...
Yes, I grew up playing classical cello and moved to guitar, and I grew up listening to old school heavy metal, and then got into different genres of metal. There are a million of them. Right. And our record is, I guess we would fall into a category of black metal, but we're a little bit different. We can fit with other genres, death metal, old school heavy metal, are definite influences. I think mainly because we're very melodic for a black metal band, and that's mainly our difference. And we also have both clean and rough vocals, so those are 2 elements that make it not so, in a box.
Right. So you draw from classical sources and modern metal. What classical sources?
I listened to classical music growing up. I played classical cello, so a lot of it.
So like Bach, Beethoven.
Yeah, all of that. And I really think that they are parallel to metal in some ways. That's what I like about it, all the melodic harmonies, and I like to write really dissonant kind of harmonies and melodies, and I feel that music should have something that sticks with you, and I feel that we have that with our melodic influence.
That's incredible. So, as a lyricist, where do you draw your words from?
Oh, a lot of different places, I guess, I guess the last album was a little bit dystopic in theme. It was Chemical Rain. This one, I guess I just drew a lot of different influences from... it's really hard to peg it, really. I just let everything wash through me, and then it just comes out, I guess, how it comes out.
How about personal experiences?
Personal experiences? I guess, I don't write that personally. I guess I write a little more, like a little more fantasy involved in it, but more metaphorically. I guess Beast of Light is, sort of like this one example of a song that's more of like a call out to this beast of light, whichever that is symbolically, it's like an idea of this massive light that, sort of elevates you, sort of like what you could use the metaphor for the sun or whatever. So, it jumps around from a lot of different places. It's hard to really peg it,
Right. I'm hearing some interesting things. Classical music, Beast of Light. Would you say your music more as a positive tone or a negative tone?
I would say positive. We'd say positive. We're not, hateful or,
Which is another obscurity in black metal, is that we do have some kind of epic, soaring, positive things after, like a contrast. After maybe some more dissonant, scary things, we always kind of veer towards, melodic, and I don't know, it's different than a lot of metal bands in that caliber, I think.
Yeah, I would say so. Usually the stuff I hear is angry or hateful, and you guys are going for Mozart and Beast of Sun. So you're here in Philly.
Yes, sir.
Do you play a lot of local Philly venues?
I wouldn't say a lot. We have. I mean, we've been, doing this for a long time, so we've been almost all over the map. This year, we focused more on touring outside of Philly.
Right. We
did 2 U.S. tours this year that were I felt we were really awesome. It's been nice to kind of get out. But I love Philly. It's but you can kind of run yourself a little ragged just going around the same circle if you hit the same town every month. Say,
It's kind of like New York City where you don't really want to play more than maybe once every 2 months in Philadelphia. We have so many venues and so many bands that come through that you want to spread it out and make it special when you play, even if it's your own hometown.
So how long's the band been together?
Well, Surgeon as an entity has been a thing, I guess, since,
2007.
Okay, yeah. And, me and Lydia have kind of held the torch for the majority of that time when we've had different members and different people coming in and out. So, yeah, I guess that's, an accurate 2007. Sure.
And how'd you two meet?
We met a long time ago. We kind of grew up in the same, little town in Philly, Germantown area, Mount Airy, the next door to each other. So we knew each other from around there, So we've known each other for a long, long time.
And then just kind of formed the band and brought it together, and you have people who come and go, I take it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's funny. We had a drummer who did our last album, Russ, and he moved to Florida and had a child, so, it was kind of hard to commit to something here in Philly.
Right.
But, we ended up getting a new drummer, JT, for our current album we recorded. We just did a tour with him, but Rustin actually still ended up doing a tour with us this year earlier, too. So it's kind of a revolving door, I guess,
So some questions for people who want to get into the music industry, kind of nuts and bolts stuff on the show. We support indie performers, and we try to talk to people who are successful in the field and help, them with support and advice and wisdom, the kind of thing you can only get by doing.
Right.
So let me ask you a few things. Is this your livelihood?
No.
No.
I would love it to be, right. And that's sort of the goal,
Right.
But
the dream.
Yeah. Right.
And what kind of advice would you give someone starting out on the path that you started out years ago, forming this kind of metal band or any band in particular? If you knew then what you knew now.
I wish I did. Actually, the industry is hard to keep up with. We grew up in the 90s, so, when we first started our band, everyone was on a label. It was all about getting on a major label, getting press, and some peers would sign to major labels, and they were very strict about what they wanted. They wanted a lot of control as far as where they monetarily saw you more than maybe what you actually wanted to do creatively. That was something that went on, and as technology opened up and Facebook and everyone's online, you can actually be very successful doing things yourself nowadays, and the technology is also there to record yourself, so you're not as dependent on a label's money. So I guess my advice would be to first of all, just commit to your project and, put your money in a smart way towards getting your music out there. That's the where you want your money to go, is really getting a good PR behind you, or starting your own scene and getting fans, more than, just the label saying, oh, here's a budget to record with. We have technology nowadays that you can pretty much track your album by yourself and then ship it out and get someone you respect to mix it or master it. That's kind of what we've done. So I guess my advice is just to, especially if you have a low budget, just be smart about where you put your money. Put it towards promotion over, spending thousands of dollars in a studio.
Right,
things.
So more money for promotion, less for the studio.
Yeah.
Kind of work your way through that.
Yeah.
How about you?
I'd say try to give as much as possible. One thing I've kind of seen is that, people can be very selfish and, kind of mongering about things. I think the more that you give in this game, it seems like the more you get. I'd say try to make as many friends as you can. And then, actually be as true to yourself musically as you can, I think it's easy to emulate and follow in the shadow of other people, but I think that, just finding what you really love and sticking to that and making that happen. And if it evolve it. Just keep going, you know?
Just keep going.
Yeah, always keep going.
Always
Never
keep
stop.
going. Well, that's fantastic.
You're like a shark, you know? If you stop swimming, you're dead.
That's what I'm putting on the website. If you stop swimming, you're dead. Awesome. So, Sean and Lydia.
Yes.
Right, and you are...
Surgeon.
Okay, and hopefully we'll get a song from you.
Hell yeah.
And I wish you good luck tonight. And
Excellent.
Thanks for speaking to me.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Caliburn Press, LLC is a Madison, Wisconsin-based publishing company owned and operated by Alan Ledden. Caliburn works with talented writers, artists, editors, and marketers throughout the United States, and you can find their books through their many imprints that include Damnation Books, Eternal Press, Malaferia Press, Ciento Sordida Publishing, and Spiro Publishing. Please visit their website at sites.google.com/site/Caliburn Press LLC/home or Google Caliburn Press to check out their growing list of titles on Amazon.com, BarnesandNoble.com, and any other place fine books are sold.
Hi, I'm David Walton, and I drop whatever I'm doing to read whatever Fox and Phil demand of me. My digital, as opposed to ectoplasmic alter ego, is called Brendan Shawland, who regularly plays guitar and sings in a virtual world. Brendan has a website, David doesn't. Bandcamp sales figures would suggest that Brendan's music is decidedly niche. If you want to be in the vanguard of support as Brendan heads towards global domination, just put Brendan Shawland in your favourite search engine, and you'll find his website very close to the top. You'll see what the human looks like, and you can check out the Listen to a Song page to access Brendan's unwillingly private world of creative output.
Hi, I'm Tim Wagner, Bram Stoker award-winning author, and you're listening to What Are You Afraid Of? Horror and Paranormal Show.
You know, I'm really worried those guys from Philly are going to find us.
Oh, yeah.
And take our phones.
I know.
Which is fine, because I got a cheapo AT&T thing, you know.
In that case, then.
In that case, then, they can have my phone. Thank you, Phil. Thanks for fighting for me there, buddy.
Right.
Yeah, that was a wonderful interview with a surgeon. We'll have their information up on the website at www.whatareyoufraidofpodcast.com. I did a few interviews that day, and I'd like to find more local Philly bands.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a Philly indie band out there, we are Philadelphia's home for horror.
That's right.
Check us out and contact us.
Yeah. Punk rock.
Yeah, anything.
Metal.
Country music.
New wave country, whatever.
Yeah, we'll play some of your stuff on the show.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
So, news from Albuquerque. It's back.
It's back.
It's back. I've been looking for months and there's been nothing. Then all of a sudden, we got a hit. Clown news.
Clown news.
Cue the jingle.
Clown news.
Love the jingle.
I love that jingle. That's great.
That was like one of the first things we did.
We haven't used that jingle in a while because we had no need to.
We've done other things. We did turkey news.
Yeah, turkey.
For a while there.
Turkey
news. We had some, everyone's one that pings. So you saw the video.
Yeah, right.
There was a guy, this is in Albuquerque, New Mexico. This guy dresses up like Pennywise. Mm-hmm. Like you look at him, it's the exact.
And boy, does he really look like Pennywise.
He even does the smile.
He
with the
really
cheeks.
does. Yeah.
I know you liked it.
I did. It was really.
I still have to see it.
It was really cool.
It was an area called the Bosque. People go there to walk their dogs, ride their bikes. It's really beautiful. And all of a sudden they're walking along and they see Pennywise.
Right. He's just there.
He's just there. Yeah. It scares the crap out of the dogs, scares the crap out of the people. They're not really big fans of Stephen King down there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And he just hangs out there as Pennywise. And apparently on Halloween he dresses up every day as Pennywise.
Yeah, the whole month of October, right?
The whole month of October.
Yeah.
His name is Everett Wilbanks. Mm-hmm. Like in February, he was in the park because he came as Pennywise, but he was there not like scaring kids or leading them off with candy like our traditional clowns do. He was there for a cosplay shoot, and someone called the police. Right.
Well, you know, what would you do if you saw Pennywise sitting there, you know? In real life. You
know? If it was the real Pennywise,
Look, he looks like the real Pennywise.
The makeup
really does.
Was really amazing.
He's got it down to a science.
He goes to Comic-Con and stuff like that. I mean, it's, we'll put the video up on the website at www.whatayouafraid of.
You got to check it out.
Podcast.com. And the funny thing is, like, the guy is a construction worker.
Right, by day. Pennywise by night.
And they interview him without the makeup, and he doesn't look a thing.
I was shocked to actually see what he looked like.
Right. But he went to the police station, and he basically said, I'm not trying to scare anybody. I just had fun at Halloween, and I was there doing a photo shoot.
Mm-hmm.
People, basically, this one guy just walks to the park, has his phone on him, and he sees him. Yeah. And he does the smile. You know, you liked it, right?
Oh, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool to see a Pennywise just kind of standing around. So I don't have a clown phobia. I'm not afraid of stuff like that. So
right.
It'd be kind of, I mean, as long as the clown is not the real Pennywise and not really meaning any harm on on the locals, that's fine.
What do you get? My wife would probably get me out of there. She doesn't like clowns.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like clowns.
Yeah,
but
I don't find them funny.
No,
I think clowns are better as horror icons.
They are. They really are.
Yeah. And I think it's that disturbing feeling you get that sort of source of their comedy.
Yeah, Stephen King was onto something. You know, he played off. I mean, he knew people's phobias. He played off that.
But he went to the police station. Will Banks did, and basically said, "I was just starting to cosplay, and I just dressed him. I'm not trying to scare anybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just doing it to make people laugh and children laugh, which is total crap.
Oh no, yeah,
because you don't dress up as Pennywise.
No, Pennywise doesn't make anyone laugh.
No,
he's there to horrify.
He's there to horrify." Mm-hmm. But, so that's clown news. We finally had it back. Now, speaking of Stephen King, Max Booth wants to bring me on Castle Rock Radio.
Right.
Where they do all Stephen King all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I could get you on, too. He just asked me the other day. And he wanted me to pick a Stephen King story that we could discuss on the show. And I said, well, it's got to be The Boogeyman from Skeleton Crew. The short story anthology, Skeleton Crew?
Yeah.
It was a story about the boogeyman.
Oh, wow.
And this man's terror.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I read Skeleton Crew in high school.
Mm-hmm. Scared the crap out of me, even when I was a teen. I mean, I'd move the couch against the closet so I could sleep in peace.
Nice.
So, speaking of PMP, a little while ago, they sent us a crime story called Chulie and Tommy Fat by Rob Pierce. And I never really found a slot to put it in. But David Walton recorded it for us. Now, warning, a little harsh language, a little violence.
Yeah.
You know, so not for younger viewers or if you have shyer sensibilities. But it's a crime story.
Yeah.
Which is something else to be afraid of. It's not as terrifying as Uncle Lloyd losing his phone in Philly.
Right.
Return Uncle Lloyd's phone.
Yeah. Please do it. If you're listening, do it.
Send it. He doesn't deserve to get mugged.
No, he doesn't.
We can send you names of people who do.
He's a good he's a good guy, you know, but we have a list of people that do deserve it. So
so just give us a contact and we'll even bring you on the show. What was it like mugging Lloyd Kaufman?
Oh my god.
I'm sending out a social media. We'll meet you in South Street. We're not gonna have phones on us.
and speaking of Stephen King, next episode we're gonna have him on.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, he's gonna.
Phil, is there something you want to tell me?
No.
Speaking of people,
in all honesty, Stephen King would probably never do this show. But hey,
well, that's what
one can dream, right?
But he's too mainstream for us.
He's too mainstream.
We like the indie, we like the unspoken, we like the underground.
Right. But hey, if he said he'd do it,
oh, yeah.
right, well, we'd both be like...
In a flash.
Come on, let's do it.
Yeah. You and Uncle Lloyd. We got Lloyd Kaufman on the show.
Oh, that's true, we did. Yeah.
But speaking of Pete Tilly...
You never know, right?
No, you never know, and we're getting better and better guests.
That's right.
We got some great stuff coming out this summer. We will be at Selma in Norristown on June 9th and 10th at the first Philadelphia Ghost Expo.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Trish Casak, PD Casak, Bram Stoker.
I never even heard of that.
It's the first one.
I'm saying, like, in general, a Ghost Expo. Mm-hmm. Is that even a thing?
Oh, they've got speakers, they've got lecturers, they've got a lot of cool stuff happening. And it's a haunted place. You can do a ghost tour if you,
I'm so there.
Check out the website for ticket information on our events site. Well, this has been fun, Phil.
Oh, it's been great.
I'm sending you home a chicken stew.
Oh, thank you.
And pumpkin bread.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know.
Delicious.
So we're going to end the show with Chulie and Tommy Fat, and then we're doing a great song from protest singer David Rovics called Ghosts That Walk This Earth. All about a soldier who dies in war, and then his ghost watches the living. Great ghost story song. So it's a ghost story song. Ghosts that walk this earth. Did you have fun, Phil?
I had a lot of fun.
And hopefully we won't get any snow this Monday.
Oh, yeah. The third nor'easter rumored to be heading our way. Hopefully that's all it is a rumor.
Okay. Well,
we're fingers crossed, right?
Yeah, right. And toes and everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
this is knees and toes.
Yeah, this is T. Fox Dunham.
And this is Phil Thomas.
Let's get some soup.
Chulie and Tommy Fat by Rob Pierce. Read by David Walton. Chulie jumped up in bed, straightened, awake in a hurry. Sounded like his front door had been knocked down. Like off the hinges. Not an easy door to break. He didn't know how many men came through. He got out of bed, wearing nothing but shorts that stopped at his knees. Grabbed the pistol from his bedside table. A huge man opened the bedroom door, Tommy Fat. Chulie knew him like everyone else knew him, a man to avoid. Tommy had abandonment issues, like he didn't want anyone to leave him, so he always left them dead. Chulie had other ideas. His 45 pointed at Tommy. Tommy talked for once. "You owe some money." "Go back." Chulie held the 45 steady. He'd shot men before. Time to shoot one more. "You kill me, they send more than one guy. They send guys with pliers, wrenches, shit to rip your balls off. I'm the guy who don't torture you." "Nah, they just sent you to kill me." Chulie took a step to the side, got a better angle. "Just give me some money. I go back and they make a new arrangement." "One where I don't die?" Chulie shook his head. "Do this right, could be. Do it wrong, no way." "Who sent you?" "Guys you owe money." "I owe a lot of guys money." Chulie took another sideways step, so he faced Tommy Fat straight on. Man, the dude was wide. Bullets would have to penetrate deep. "You ain't gonna say who?" Tommy shook his head. "How much?" Tommy shook his head again. "You don't tell me crap. How I know who I'm paying what?" "Rules, Chulie. Give me all your money. Maybe it's enough." Chulie raised his 45, aimed it at Tommy's head. They were 8 feet apart. "Rules changed, Tommy. Who sent you?" "You owe money to a book. Book works for Tenny. You're fucked you don't pay, Chulie." "This is fucked up, Tommy. No goddamn enforcer came by when I was a month late, 2 months late, whatever. Now there's a fucking hit? Why don't he just send that fucking dust thug? Tenny kills people before they pay him now?" "Ain't in charge of how Tenny thinks. Ain't in charge of shit. You got a plan where I don't die? I'm good with it." "And if I don't, then you're a fucking dead man, Tommy. What the fuck about that?" "Surprised my guys in the next room ain't blasted through your bedroom wall and killed you yet." "Reason for that?" Chulie weighed it fast. "You're full of crap." "Bet your life on it?" Chulie weighed it more. "If they there, call them off, so I know you did." "No way to call. They're coming through. Don't know why they're late." "Back up." Still inside his bedroom, Chulie aimed his 45 at Tommy Fat's head, and Tommy backed the hell up, out of the bedroom door, his pistol holstered. Chulie watched Tommy, wondered about next door, and who he owed. A lot of bookies in this town, could be anyone. 4,500 on the ponies, a few grand on cards, only 700 on dice. He didn't think he owed any of them enough to get his door kicked in. He knew Tommy Fat wasn't there to talk about it. Chulie stepped into the hall with Tommy, who kept backing up. Chulie listened for footsteps, listened for doors closing, but there was no door left to close. Listened for any sound from the next room, heard nothing. Get the hell out of my house. Tommy Fat backed to the flattened front door and stood on it. Chulie waited on the wall just outside his bedroom door, where a bullet through it wouldn't kill him. He had a line on a good card game. He had to live tonight, win some money back. Tommy Fat backed out the front door, pulled his head away so Chulie couldn't see. Tommy wasn't known for his patience. He liked to enter dramatically and finish the job quickly. Chulie's 45 had thrown that off. Tommy was outside the front door a minute. Who knew how long he'd wait? Chulie wasn't coming out. Tommy stepped back in fast, stood on the busted front door where it lay, a semi-automatic pistol in his hand. Chulie aimed his 45 at the big man a few feet away. Tommy Fat turned towards him, and Chulie fired into his massive gut. The big man staggered forward, then to the side, grabbed Chulie tight by the throat before Chulie could fire again. He brought up a knee faster than seemed possible, and Chulie's 45 popped loose, fell somewhere on the floor. Tommy jammed his semi-automatic into Chulie's temple, straightened Chulie's head, and one fat hand squeezed Chulie's cheeks tight. He threw Chulie to the floor. "Pay the man," Tommy said. Chulie lay on his back. Tommy looked down at him, fired one round into a kneecap, almost fell as he picked up the loose 45. Chulie screamed. "And get new doors," Tommy said. "This place looks like crap." Rob Pierce wrote the novel Uncle Dust, the novella Vern in the Heat, and the short story collection The Things I Love Will Kill Me Yet, September 2016. Editor of Swill magazine and an editorial consultant with All Due Respect Books, Rob has been nominated for a Derringer Award for short crime fiction and has had stories published in numerous ugly magazines. He lives and will probably die in Oakland, California. Follow him on Twitter at Rob Pierce, 2 verbs, and the 2 is a digit.
Rat, where are you going?
I'm going back to the Paranormal View, back where I belong.
Please, take me with you.
No, I'm through with everything here. I want to see if there's something left in life I haven't explored. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, Rat, don't run to them. They talk about ghosts and hauntings, UFOs, and all kind of supernatural scary stuff.
You'll never understand, will you, Scarlet?
No!
Well, that's your misfortune.
Rat, if you go, where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear... Line!
Oh, you gotta be kidding.
That's the Paranormal View with your host, Henry Foister, Jeffrey Gould, Kat Cloco, and Barbara Duncan. Every Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, exclusively on the Para X Radio Network.
Tell you what happened. I was walking downtown, making something for Mayday, pounding the ground. Some kid pulled a trigger, then I was dead. 'Cause that's what happens when a shotgun blows off your head. I was just 24, much too young to die. My reason for living, I didn't know why. I had no time to show what my life could be worth. Now I'm just another of all the ghosts that walk this earth. Yes, I wander the world, and I see all the others the dead and forsaken, my sisters and brothers, all of us wondering, what are we doing here? Just stuck on this planet for who knows how many years. In Auschwitz or Baghdad, it's always the same, forgotten and restless, no one calling our name. I visit my old friend, they make love and give birth, while I'm just another of all the ghosts that walk this earth. Show you all the places I've been, where the flowers grow wild, where the napalm meets skin. I wish I could trade it and be back in my life. Maybe we'd live in China, maybe you'd be my wife. Maybe I would feel something, not just angry and sad, always just wishing for the life that I had. I watch you and your lover in such glorious mirth, while I'm just another of all the ghosts that walk this earth.
There'd be no Philadelphia without Uncle Lloyd.
T. Fox Dunham lives in Philadelphia with his wife Allison. He's a lymphoma survivor, cancer patient, modern bard and historian. His first book, The Street Martyr, was published by Gutter Book. A major motion picture based on the book is being produced by Throughline Films. Destroying the Tangible Illusion of Reality or Searching for Andy Kaufman, a book about what it's like to be dying of cancer, was recently released from Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing, and Fox has a story in the Stargate anthology, Points of Origin, from MGM and Fandemonium Books. Mercy was recently released by Bloodbound Books. Fox is an active member of the Harvard Association. He's been published in hundreds of short stories and articles, and his motto is Wrecking Civilization, one story at a time.
Phil Thomas resides in the suburbs of Philadelphia and is an author and filmmaker. His screenplays have been produced into feature films such as False Face and Always from Darkness that are available in major retailers such as Best Buy and Target, as well as availability on Netflix and Amazon On Demand.
The views expressed and the opinions given by the individual host and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Para X, its affiliates, or its sponsors.